Good morning, Darshan. Steve here. Hope you're well, mate. Right, so just going to do a bit of a walk-through inspection here. So the car passed there. Yeah, so the paint has been through and has completed all the internals, and I got to be honest, it does look really great. I've just been through, had a good look. There's a few areas that obviously, you know, the home's got a few years on it now, but so I'll point out a few areas as I go through, but I think it's probably in a good position to proceed. But as I go through here as well, this is going to combine with a exit condition report as well, because the tenants have been through and done some more spot checks. So this is also going to double up for a little bit of an exit condition report as well. But yep, so out the front here, all the front area is nice and tidy. There's no weeds in this area here. Everything's clean and as it should be. Look, this here, look, perhaps could be trimmed back a little bit, but that's fine as it is. The external windows are still haven't been cleaned. Not sure if, like, this is the problem here, is you might not be able to see it on these videos, but yeah, oh, you can there, look. So actually that's on the inside of the windows, so they probably, if you can see that, a little bit of dust on those windows, so they could do with a bit of a clean, but I'll refer to the cleaning as we go, because there's obviously a lot of dust internally now just from the painter, so I probably would suggest having a professional cleaner come through just to give a spot finish. Obviously this area here is all overgrown, so in fact I'll probably just bring my little clippers with me next time I come and just flatten all that out so it looks a little bit more presentable for the sale. A little bit of dust again, just look, you know, a little clean, little sweep or something on here, just little basic things that, like I say, I'll be taking care of that as we go. Now the only thing, I'm going to bring this up with the painter actually, the front door clearly needs to be painted. I'll speak to the painter on that one, because I'm not sure whether it was included in his quotation, but this really does need to be done. So leave that with me, I'll follow that up with the painter. So as we step into, like I say, I've been throughout, the painting is looking great. What it does show though, so first and foremost, there's no power, so we'll need to connect the power, and perhaps we'll just need some funds on account just to cover any expense on that front. But the painting, because it looks so fresh and modern, it does show off the carpet's age a little bit. Probably not going to be able to detect that on this video. But again, in fairness, the carpet's probably in good order considering the property's age. There's a few stains and marks, but I would probably consider that as general wear and tear. Throughout, the blinds are old-fashioned, and again, the painting does kind of almost highlight that a little bit, but I think we just put that down to something that the new purchasers might choose to do in the future. But there are some defects you can see here. Look, there's some string holding certain blinds together. There's sort of indentations, but with regards to the sales, what I'll do, I'll open up all the blinds anyway, not to conceal it, but just to make sure that it's looking as best it can do. I think one of the instructions, so these fly screens are easily removable. I think one of the instructions, I think, to the cleaner is to make sure that they pull all of the fly screens off and clean those windows behind, because that's one of the first things you notice. There's a little ant trail. These little guys this time of year are on full alert for any food. I've got the same issue in my house, so I'll just bring, I've got this little sandy stuff. They're actually coming in from a little hole down there, and they're traveling all the way down into the kitchen on the bench surfaces looking for food. I've got this little sandy little sandy stuff that they hate. I'll bring that, and that will stop them, because there's a continual trail that leads up here, and like I say, onto the bench surfaces, but we don't want that during the sale inspections. Into the garage, it's also been fully painted, looking quite good. Now the tenant, there is some lino. Again, let me just put the flash on. There's this lino all the way through. I have checked underneath it in parts, not all of it. But as you get, look, the floor's, it's not there to hide anything, but but it's kind of there and there's no need. So that really should have been removed by the tenant. And I don't know what this is here, but like that's just a little stone or whatever. That's fine. One little defect here is this has just come away. Ideally that could be clipped back in there, but look, we're not going to be able to get a handyman out just to do that. Look, I think that's we'll just put that down to you know, a little job that the new purchaser is going to sort of conclude when they move in. Someone's not going to buy it just because of that, obviously. Now stepping into the master bedroom. So again, look, the video is picking it up here. There are some obvious furniture dentations, which is normal, but look, it's an aged carpet and it's in reasonably good order considering its age. A few defects, like there's some loose threads here which I'll hide for the inspections, but like I say, I'm just being very conscious here of reserving your cash, and to make sure, you know, I don't want to go spending money unless it's going to get a significant return on it. But from here you can see, look, there's a little stain there, here. Again, probably fine for someone to move straight into. And again, look here, so what happens, I don't know if you can see, there's some smear marks here. So when it was cleaned, then the painters then come in, and obviously there's been dust in the air, and the dust will attract to certain areas. So it does need a spot clean. So we'll get that sorted pretty quickly. Ensuite's nice and tidy. Now the only thing in here, this is the only defect, is this shower tray. Look, the tenant over the years has siliconed it, and I'm sure it's probably watertight as it is, but it does need replacing. We'll talk about that separately as well, as to whether we do actually sort that out or we sell as is. I think this floor tile's actually cracked here, which again isn't grounds really to take that from the tenant, but there are spare tiles around, so the new purchaser will be able to just replace that tile if they pick that up. Laundry's all fine, all fully painted and good. Now one of the third bedrooms or something, yeah, look, here's a good example of the carpet. Little stains. You know, this was the kiddies room, if I remember correctly. There's a little bit of threading gone here on the carpets. Again, probably not real sufficient grounds to hold the tenant accountable to, but here is an indication of the cleanliness here. And to be honest with you, like I say, look, I'll refer to Laura about this, but you know, there's these little items here will ultimately be, if we do a spot clean, look, there's the example there, look, all the dust, which is a bit of dust, but it's also the build-up of the sanding from the paint job here. It's a little bits of spot cleaning is required, but like I say, I think we just do a full professional clean to sort that out. And again here, just the windows just need to be cleaned up. Bathroom is all good. Little leaking tap here, but again, I think we just move ahead as is. But otherwise, you know, it's a great sized bathroom with adjoining powder room and basin here. Again, just a little spot clip. So all of the mirrors, windows, floors and surfaces just need a spot clean. We've got a great cleaner that will be doing all that for us, which is great. Another one of the bedrooms, this is actually all in good order here. Just the odd mark. Fitted robe. Yeah, it's all been painted inside, which is great. Okay, right, just finish off in the bedrooms while I'm here. Same goes for here, the odd couple of little bits of staining, but overall, like I say, the carpet's, I think, fine as it is. Don't want to go replacing that. Kitchen, look, it is starting to show its age in certain areas, but at first glance I thought the work workbench was, you can't really pick it up on this video. At first glance I thought the workbench was dirty, but it's actually just worn. It's a laminate surface, and you know, over the years it gets, you can see scratches here, so there's lots of little scratches, and so basically the sheen has gone from the top of it, all right, which makes it that gives it that like little dirty effect. And then over the years you can see the little bit of stainage around here. So at first glance it's not great, but your first impression when you walk into this property is the good open space here. And so again, I don't want to start talking about replacing bench surfaces and kitchens, because ultimately where do you stop? Cleanliness, again, look, top of dishwasher hasn't been done. Inside needs another run, another cycle, assuming that it works, because the basin, if you see, look here, is still grimy. And then also down the bottom here, you know, that all needs a clean. So again, I think, look, our cleaner's going to be here anyway. I think we just instruct him to do all that. Underneath the sink here, a little bit of sign of some water ingress over. I don't know whether that's current or old, but again, look, just a little bit of dirt that needs. Here's all the ants I'm talking about. They're coming in and trying to find food around this oven, which checked inside the oven. The oven's fine, it's clean, it's been cleaned. So there's nothing in there that they're after, but maybe just bits of food that fall behind the face there. And again, look, you can see here the dust mark, like that. But that is the sanding from the painter, so we'll take care of all of that. Now look, here's an example here, the cupboards, for example. Real, look, general wear and tear. So what, you know, if we was to go replacing surface tops, then we need to look at the cabinetry. So I think it's fine as is, but as you can see here, look, the little joins are slowly coming away, but you know, the kitchen's got some age on it now. And here's a classic here, you can see the swelling in that timber. The reason for that is it's the closest cupboard to the sink, and you'll have a lot of water over the years just kind of seeping around the lip, and it will just be touching that timber, and of course that makes it swell. So at some point in the future, you know, maybe short term, sort of 5 years or so, the buyer might replace the kitchen or upgrade it, whatever, it's up to them. All right, again, so apart from the cleanliness of windows and fly screens, it's fine. There is a layer of dust over the top of this tile flooring. It is clean, but it's I can see it's been cleaned as well. But like I say, the painters created a lot of dust here. Moving outside is actually been cleaned up very well indeed. No weeds, everything's been trimmed. A couple of little weeds, I'll pull those out, no problem. The shed's completely empty apart from tiles and a few little bits of paint and stuff, which will be useful for the oncoming buyer. Absolutely immaculate down the side. Now, one big question here is this enormous satellite dish. Yeah, Darshan, just a question for you really. I don't know whether you had that installed or whether the current or the previous tenant had it installed, but like, you know, it's a little bit old-fashioned these days. It's pretty secure on there anyway, but I would probably put this to law and say if that tenant, the previous tenant, did install that, then maybe we should get rid of that. But like I say, we'll follow that up and let you know. Some cobwebs here, like I say. But overall, yeah, look, the property has come up extremely well with the painting. Just on the fly screen there, look, again, just a little bit of dirt and cobwebs and finger marks, just needs to be cleaned up. Overall, presents very, very nicely with the painting. Like I say, we could start talking about blinds, carpets, bench surfaces, all of those upgrades, but ultimately, I think the project here is to move on and realise the cash and position that somewhere else more effective. And I think it's probably in pole position to do so. Okay, Darshan, I'll get this over to you shortly and advise of the next steps. Thank you.